What's up, guys? Welcome to Truth Be Told. This is my first ever video on this channel and I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. So this is exactly what this channel is going to be. It's going to be short, simple, and easy videos for soon-to-be dental people, or if you're going into the dental field or the medical field and you need to know these answers. I will have chapters and different videos on different subjects under the heading dental and the truth about teeth. So let's just get right into it. Alright, so today we are going to be talking about fillings. There are different fillings. There are composite resin fillings. There are amalgam fillings, which we are going to be discussing today. And there's also temporary fillings that use a substance called IRM, Di-Cal, and Copolite varnish. But today we're just going to be starting with the basics with amalgam. So first of all, if you're wondering, what is amalgam? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Right here, I'm going to be having the definition of amalgam. So I have a fake tooth right here, and this is what it looks like, and that is the amalgam right there inside of it. Now it is 50% mercury. It's made of other metals inside of here, but this is 50% mercury right here. Now we are going to be talking about what a filling is on a simple basis, and then we're also going to be discussing the different tools that you would use for this amalgam filling. So I'm just going to put our filling right here. Maybe you guys can see it a little better. There we go. So let's get started. So a filling is when you have a deep cavity, and sometimes you may need a root canal, and that is a very deep cavity. If we're just talking about a cavity and it hasn't gotten to that bad point where you're gonna need a root canal, then you're just going to be needing a filling. So, like I said, there are Copolite varnish, and that is literally just when the substance or the amalgam is the color of your tooth. Now, this obviously is not the color of our teeth, right? No, it's not. But let's just get started on how to do an amalgam filling. So the first thing I'm going to talk about are all the different tools. I will have all 12 tools listed up right here, and we're going to be talking about each one of them. So the first one we're going to be talking about is a mouth mirror. Now, a mouth mirror retracts the cheek and can also reflect light. So that is a very basic instrument in the dental field, is a mouth mirror. The second one in the lineup for amalgam fillings is an explorer. An explorer is used just for that, to explore the mouth and to look for those cavities. Now, if the explorer end sticks to that occlusal surface on your tooth, that likely means you have a cavity, so sorry, but that's how we know. The next thing on the lineup are cotton pliers. So cotton pliers can use to pick up cotton pellets or to open drawers or different things like that. And the cotton pellets can help shine up the end finish of our amalgam. The next thing in the lineup after the two cotton pliers are spoon excavator. A spoon excavator up here is a tool that looks like a spoon on each end, and it helps get excess debris out of your amalgam filling. So this helps to just right before you do the filling, make sure that you have any other grossness or any nasty debris or anything out of that tooth, because we want it clear as possible and clean as possible so that we can do your filling correctly. So the next thing we have in the lineup for amalgam fillings are an FP3. An FP3 is used for, like I said earlier, for deeper cavities, for typically Di-Cal, and also for IRM, but I'm not going to dive too much into that. If you guys want more on that, then I will make another video, but that's what an FP3 is used for. The next thing in the lineup is an amalgam carrier. An amalgam carrier is very important to carry the amalgam and transfer it from the well to your tooth. So I'll have a picture of a well right here. And a well, you just put the amalgam or the mercury, you mix it up in an amalgamator, which is right here. An amalgamator, in easy words, just shakes up the amalgam inside of the capsule, and then you put it in the well, and then you take the amalgam carrier and you put it inside of the tooth. So that's the mercury inside of there, or the amalgam, and you just put it in there like so. All right, so the next thing in the lineup after the amalgam carrier are our condensers. We have a small and a large condenser, and they are just used to simply do that, to compact the amalgam down in there, making sure that you are pushing enough in there and that you are filling that filling. So anyways, those are a small and a large condenser. It doesn't really matter when you use it. It just depends on the size of the cavity. So if you have a bigger person with a bigger mouth with bigger teeth, you're probably going to use the large condenser. If you have somebody with a smaller mouth or smaller teeth or a smaller cavity, then you're going to use the small condenser. Next in our lineup, we have what we call the Wilson knife. Now, the Wilson knife is used for interproximal fillings. So if the decay went all the way out to the side of the interproximal part of the tooth, then that is when you would use the Wilson knife. If you don't know what I mean by interproximal, interproximal just means in between, so in between the teeth. So interproximally, on the mesial or the distal side, you're going to be having, you're going to need to fill that too. So anyways, the Wilson knife is used for interproximal. Now this, we're not working on interproximal. We were literally just working on the occlusal surface, which just means the chewing surface of your tooth. So right after the Wilson knife, we have the Walls carver. So this is used to carve the anatomy of the tooth and make, if it was anterior teeth, which just means front teeth, then you would be making fosses or cingulums, or you would be making cusps or different things like that. Convex and concave, really just focusing on the anatomy of the tooth, and that's what the Walls carver is used for. So if you look up close, it'll focus. I don't know if it's focusing or not, but anyways, you just try to make it look as much as the tooth as possible. We know that it's not the same color, but yet you need to make the anatomy look very real-like. So that's what we would use the Walls carver for. And then the last instrument that I'm going to be talking about and discussing today is called a cleoid discoid. So you're probably like, what? Sorry. So I'm going to slow down and say it. Cleoid discoid. And this is literally just a smaller version of the Walls carver. So a lot of people I've heard like to use the cleoid discoid better because it's less bulky and it's a lot easier to maneuver into the mouth and to make the anatomy of the tooth. So that is completely up to you and what size hands you have, what's easiest for you. But anyways, that's the lineup. So typically what we would do is we would just get the amalgam from the well, and you're going to place it inside of this amalgam filling, like so. And then you can move along and you can go to your cleoid discoid or your Walls carver, carve the anatomy of the tooth, sit there for a minute and just make sure that it's compact. After we've used our small or large condenser, before we even started, you should have used your spoon excavator to get out any extra debris. And then at the end, I want to quickly talk about burnishers. And I'm going to have a picture up here of, they call it an appleseed burnisher or a football burnisher, because literally the end either looks like an appleseed or a football, just whichever one you like better. I call it an appleseed burnisher. I just like that better. Totally your preference. And this just really helps at the end to shine up that mercury and make it look shiny and polished. And then if you really want to go above and beyond the polishing, you can definitely go back in there with your cotton pliers and your cotton pellets and just go over that surface. Make sure that it is to your liking and to the patient's liking on how it looks, really. So, and making sure that it's shiny. So at the end, you have something just like this. So this was just an example of what we did in dental class. I'm taking C4 dental class, and I really enjoy it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video on amalgam fillings. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I would love to answer your questions and make sure that you know the most about it. So thank you guys so much for coming to my channel, Truth Be Told, and I'll see you guys next time. God bless.